2025 was quite a year, and not all of it for good reasons. Sadly, crime continued to leave its mark across our communities. One of the most devastating incidents came on October 22nd, just after midnight, when a multi-vehicle crash on the Kampala-Gulu highway claimed the lives of 46 people. It happened at Chitaleba village in Kiriandongo district when two passenger buses and two other vehicles collided. According to police, both buses were attempting to overtake other vehicles when they met head-on, triggering a chain reaction that sent vehicles overturning and people losing their lives. This tragedy stands as one of the deadliest traffic accidents in the country in 2025. But it wasn't just accidents that marked the year. In August, businessman Anthony Mutinisa was shot dead inside his office in Ntinda. Police later traced his stolen vehicle to Kanungu district, leading to arrests. A reminder of the dangers everyday citizens face and the tireless work our detectives put in to pursue justice. And corruption also made headlines in 2025. 11,548 economic and corruption-related crimes were reported, including allegations of senior officials diverting funds meant for public projects into private accounts. The numbers may be slightly down from previous years, but the impact on public trust is profound. Terrorism concerns also lingered, with authorities stepping up monitoring of suspected networks to prevent threats from escalating into attacks. And the police didn't stand still. They launched one of the largest intelligence-led operations of the year, targeting non-criminal hideouts across Kampala and arresting dozens of suspects linked to robbery and violent crime. All of these incidents, deadly accidents, murders, corruption, counter-terror vigilance, and police action are reflected in the 2025 Uganda Police Crime Report presented by CID boss Tom Magambo. The report shows a 10.2% reduction in reported crime, even as persistent challenges remain. This is where our podcast begins, and we are going into the numbers shortly, the stories behind them, and the lives affected. From me, Razia Othman, written by Simon Masaba and recorded by Suleiman Mutebi. Welcome to the new Vision CSI Crime Stories.
The Annual Crime Report 2025 provides a comprehensive analysis of crime trends, patterns, and collective efforts.
The report reveals 283,000 cases reported this year. Out of these, 175,391 cases are currently with the Director of Public Prosecutions. 79,291 are in court, and 31,732 have led to convictions from 4,899 concluded cases.
The report indicates crime grouped by 10% in comparison to the 4.1% in 2024.
Detectives are handling an average of 54 cases each, far above the global standard of 12. That explains part of the backlog and shows why additional staffing and training are crucial.
Over the past year, Uganda Police Force sustainably executed intelligence-led operations and investigations in this country, and I would like to recognize the efforts of the major players in this area. In terms of intelligence, I think our Crime Intelligence Directorate has done a great deal. We have had focused operations. The commanders on the ground, we appreciate them. And the CID for following through to ensure that we process all these suspects to where they are supposed to be processed to.
The October highway crash is the most severe accident of 2025. Emergency teams respond immediately, treating injured passengers and securing the scene.
We registered 7,879 minor crashes and fatalities. We registered 4,602 fatal crashes, and it translated to 3.8 increase in fatal crashes. When we look at the trend of annual road traffic crashes from 2021 to 2025, presents an interesting scenario. And this is where we should not lose hope. When you look at those graphs, you will see the crashes are increasing, but at a decreasing rate. And 3,224 fatal crashes were from the motorcycles. And they seriously injured most persons on our roads. The motor cars, these are small vehicles that we drive, but of interest is to see the unknown. The number of unknown is increasing.
In Entebbe, the Mutaga case is ongoing. Detectives examine the house, collect forensic evidence, and track digital footprints. Police are actively investigating the double stabbing, questioning suspects, and reviewing surveillance footage. The case remains a high priority, and the community is watching closely as police pursue justice.
The implementation of sub-county policing model is giving the Uganda Police Force mileage over crime. This has enabled the Uganda Police Force to bring policing services closer to the communities. And I would like to note here, this is still work in progress. We are not yet fully to all the sub-counties of this country.
Other murders in Kampala and across the country are actively under investigation, keeping CID detectives on the move day and night.
There has also been upward increase in acquisition and effective utilization of force multipliers, especially CCTV, canine services, forensics, better equipment, and other IT-related solutions.
Economic and corruption crimes total 11,548 in 2025. Police actively monitor projects and follow leads on officials allegedly diverting funds. Several cases are in prosecution, while detectives continue tracing financial transactions linked to suspected corruption.
A total of 12,361 cases were registered at police stations in 2025, compared to 14,073 cases which were registered the previous year. And this reflected a decline of 12.2%. Of interest were also the economic and corruption-related crimes. But in terms of what was reported on our side, we see a total of 11,548 cases that were registered, which was a slight decline from what had been registered the previous year. Now, there is another area of interest to the public, the break-ins.
Authorities are actively preventing terror threats by monitoring suspected networks and stopping plots before they materialize.
Last year, we registered 8 cases of terrorism compared to the 26 cases that we registered in 2024. Sometimes these cases may not be many, but the magnitude can be very serious. But we want to say, sir, that from our statistics, all these people were arrested, whoever was involved, and I can comfortably tell you that they are somewhere within the criminal justice system.
Police also continue executing major intelligence-led raids in Kampala, arresting dozens of suspects linked to violent crime, theft, and other offences. Coordination with the judiciary, DPP, and international partners ensures these operations succeed.
Land continues to be one of the most contentious areas in our society today. In 2025 alone, a total of 663 cases were reported to police compared to 397 in 2024, which indicated a 67% increase. But I want to put a disclaimer here. Land has so many other related cases, trespass, which necessarily are not reported as land conflicts. So when you cumulatively add all the different crimes, some have had murders in the land conflicts, trespass, all those have not been included here. We have just registered those cases where there were direct land wrangles.
One exciting development, the Police Data Analysis Center is complete and being equipped to revolutionize crime statistics processing. Built entirely by police engineers, it allows detectives to track trends, allocate resources faster, and respond proactively to emerging crime.
A total of 11,818 cases were reported to police in 2025, compared to 13,511 which were reported in 2014. This gave us a decrease of 12.5%. But let there be no doubt in your minds that any break-in is a concern to the police. I've watched up front some of these incidents that have happened, and our colleagues are all concerned, especially if we can't resolve and make the streets very, very calm.
CID boss Tom Magambo emphasizes that the decline in crime is a collective achievement, but sustaining it requires public cooperation and continuous collaboration with institutions, from deadly accidents to murders, corruption, terror threats, and proactive policing. These are the stories unfolding right now in Uganda. I'm Razia Athman, guiding you through these stories on the new Vision CSI Crime Stories, written by Simon Masaba, recorded by Suleiman Mutebi, and brought to you as the just-released 2025 Uganda Police Crime Report hits the headlines.